You wouldn't believe what we're about to show you. This is Melinda Gates of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and she's wearing an inverted cross in her interview. It's a symbol being used by Satanist movements to show rejection of Jesus. Is this a sign that the ruling of the Antichrist is becoming near and the formation of the one government would soon come to reality? Antichrist is the polar opposite and the ultimate enemy of Christ.
The kingdom that Satan is pulling together as the final attempt to dethrone God. It describes this kingdom as having powers like a leopard, a bear, and a lion. And what we find here is this monster is none other than the final Antichrist. Even now, John says there are many Antichrists. This is the final one. He rises up out of the sea, out of the nations. He consolidates all world power. This is globalism.
According to Christian tradition, he will reign terribly in the period prior to the Last Judgment. The word Antichrist appears in just 3 passages in the Bible, in the New Testament letters known as 1 John and 2 John. It does not appear at all in the book of Revelation. But the idea of an Antichrist is central to the apocalyptic worldview that sees human history as a struggle between God and Satan for the fate of mankind. According to Christian prophecy of the end time, the Antichrist will act as Satan's chief agent on earth during this period. The Antichrist, a sort of evil twin of Jesus in many ways, will forge a one-world government through promises of peace.
Toward a one-world global government with one massive, monstrous leader.
As far back as the Tower of Babel, mankind has dreamed of a one-world government. Mankind, commanded by God to diversify over the face of the earth, chose, instead, to remain together in one place, in defiance of their Creator's desire. Yet, it was not then God's will that humanity be united in one location under one human government, and He intervened to scatter humanity across the earth by dividing the languages of man, Genesis chapter 11 verses 1 to 9. Ever since, every kingdom of men to rise and seek such a level of power has eventually met its own end. World-ruling empires of the past reached a zenith in their power but eventually fell into ruin. The great Babylonian Empire, for example, conquered many nations, including the Kingdom of Judah in the Middle East. But it met its downfall. There's no mention of the phrase one world government and one currency in the Bible to refer to end times. However, it provides ample evidence to enable us to conclude that both will exist under the rule of the Antichrist in the last few days. Some sort of world system will be inaugurated by the beast, the most powerful horn, who will defeat the other 9 and will begin to wage war against Christians. The 10-nation confederacy is also seen in Daniel's image of the statue in Daniel chapter 2 verses 41 to 42, where he pictures the final world government consisting of 10 entities represented by the 10 toes of the statue. Whoever the 10 are and however they come to power, Scripture is clear that the beast will either destroy them or reduce their power to nothing more than figureheads. In the end, they will do his bidding. John goes on to describe the ruler of this vast empire as having power and great authority given to him by Satan himself, Revelation chapter 13 verse 2, being followed by and receiving worship from all the world, and having authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. From this description, it is logical to assume that this person is the leader of a one-world government which is recognized as sovereign over all other governments. It's hard to imagine how such diverse systems of government as are in power today would willingly subjugate themselves to a single ruler, and there are many theories on the subject. A logical conclusion is that the disasters and plagues described in Revelation as the seal and trumpet judgments will be so devastating and create such a monumental global crisis that people will embrace anything and anyone who assures them relief.
Necessity, i.e. public health, common good is the plea of every infringement of human freedom. It is the argument of tyrants. Get people afraid and they'll do whatever you want. A fearful society will always comply. Panicking people will believe anything.
Once entrenched in power, the beast and the power behind him, which is Satan, will move to establish absolute control over all peoples of the earth to accomplish their true end. The worship Satan has been seeking ever since being thrown out of heaven. Isaiah chapter 14 verses 12 to 14. One way they will accomplish this is by controlling all commerce. And this is where the idea of a one-world currency comes in. Revelation chapter 13 verses 16 to 17 describes some sort of satanic mark which will be required in order to buy and sell. This means anyone who refuses the mark will be unable to buy food, clothing, or other necessities of life. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. No doubt the vast majority of people in the world will succumb to the mark simply to survive. Again, verse 16 makes it clear that this will be a universal system of control where everyone, rich and poor, great and small, will bear the mark on their hand or forehead. There is a great deal of speculation about how exactly this mark will be affixed, but the technologies available right now could accomplish it very easily. With what this implant does, it is easy to see that it contains the identity and financial information of the ones who receive it. The money system will be cashless because everyone will need to use their implant to buy or sell. Therefore, the currency will be some type of cryptocurrency. Those who are left behind after the rapture of the church will be faced with an excruciating choice. Accept the mark of the beast in order to survive or face starvation and horrific persecution by the Antichrist and his followers.
If you can't buy and you can't sell, pretty soon you don't have any food. And my belief is that many of the people during the tribulation are going to die from starvation because there won't be any way, they will not be able to participate in the economy of the world and they won't be able to eat. And so little by little they'll die.
But those who come to Christ during this time, those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life as stated in Revelation chapter 13 verse 8, will choose to endure, even to martyrdom. But when Jesus returns, he will expose the Antichrist as an impostor, defeat him in the battle of Armageddon, and reign with the Christian martyrs for 1,000 years on earth. What are your thoughts on this? Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Until then, peace out.